Hey, good morning. Thank you, members of the media and public, for coming to join us today. My name is Mitch Little. I'm the state representative for House District 65. I've been practicing law in Collin County for over 20 years, and that explains our choice of venue here today. So thank you for being in attendance. This year, I filed House Bill 4623 in response to the sexual abuse crisis that's going on in our public school systems in the state of Texas. And I say crisis because almost every day we have a news story of a teacher or a coach or administrator preying upon our children. And for decades, the predation of our children has essentially gone unabated because of sovereign immunity in our state until now. When I filed House Bill 4623 and we were able to get that passed, I could not possibly have imagined that we would need to apply it as a remedy as quickly and as closely to home as we are right now. Obviously, I am horrified by what's going on in Celina ISD, as are many of my friends. State Representative Carissa Richardson, State Representative Jeff Leach are leading the charge, requesting civil investigative demand from Attorney General Ken Paxton, who has agreed to investigate the matter as well. I want to commend the intrepid work by our very fine District Attorney Greg Willis in pursuing the prosecution of this matter. I, like you, am horrified at the reports that Caleb Elliott was passed from school to school within the district, that he had apparently attempted to place cameras earlier at another school, that he had been banned from the locker room already with these children. There are many families at Moore Middle School that have been affected by this horrific situation. I'm joined today by my friends Quentin Brogdon and Jack Walker because we intend to bring lawsuits and claims on behalf of these families to seek justice and transparency. This is a very disturbing event. Obviously, it is very trying on our community, and there are a lot of people who are responding to this situation in different ways. I want to propose to you some ideas. We need to investigate and determine whether Celina ISD grossly negligently or recklessly continued employing or failing to supervise Caleb Elliott in a way that caused harm to these children, because ultimately the children's lives and these families' lives are what's at stake. I also understand Celina ISD has retained a third-party, supposedly independent investigator named Gianna Ortiz to investigate this matter. The question the people of Celina should be asking is this truly independent? And will we all get to see the results of this investigation, or is it privileged to the school board? These families demand answers, and we need to know the names of the decision makers who allowed this environment to exist. Thank you for being here. I want to, before I turn over to questions, I'd like to introduce my friends Quentin Brogdon and Jack Walker and give them an opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you, Mitch. For everybody, my name is Jack Walker. I'm a lawyer from Tyler and have teamed up with Mitch and Quentin for these cases. I would just mirror what Mitch said. I think the state of Texas owes Mitch and Carissa a debt of gratitude for taking this on during the session, for getting this law passed. For years, we've attempted to hold school districts and administrations accountable for sexual assaults and victimizing young children, and up to now have been unable to do that so because of sovereign immunity. So the reason we're involved in this is to provide accountability to the families and the children who have been victimized in this, and we look forward to doing that.
Good morning. I'm Quentin Brogdon, and it's my privilege to be here with State Representative Mitch Little and my friend Jack Walker. And I'll tell you, on behalf of the families, Representative Little, I thank you for your foresight and your political courage in getting this bill passed. This is Exhibit A in how good government can work by and for the citizens of the great state of Texas. This law gives us, the lawyers representing the victims of this tragedy, a powerful new tool to get answers and accountability, and hopefully to ensure this never, ever happens again to an unsuspecting family like the families in this tragedy. It appears to me that we have a school district here that lost sight of one of its fundamental two missions. Of course, a school district has to educate, but a school district also has to protect the vulnerable students that the parents entrust to that district. And it looks like this district fell down in that regard. Instead of protecting those students, the district chose to protect itself. Instead of protecting those vulnerable students, the district chose to protect coaches, it certainly appears. And instead of protecting those students, the district chose to protect its ability to go and get another state football championship. Something's very wrong with that picture. There needs to be accountability. Representative Little's bill allows us now to go forward, and that's what we expect to be able to do. And thank you again, Representative Little.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Quentin. Thank you, Jack. I just want to remind you that it was the courage of Representative Jeff Leach to be able to have a hearing on this bill and Governor Abbott and signing into law. Obviously, it was supported by our state senator, Angela Paxton, as well, who was calling for a civil investigative demand on the part of the Attorney General's office, too. I'm happy to take any questions you might have at this time.
Can you please tell us about the families that y'all represent and anything y'all could say about
Quentin, why don't you?
the families?
We are in the infancy stages of that. We're talking to over a dozen families right now. Some have signed contracts, some have indicated they will, and we are mainly now investigating. We are not jumped out. I know some have. There's a lawsuit that's already been filed, but we are trying to get the facts as best we can at this stage. We have private investigators and others doing that, and we're going to wait to get more information before we throw around specific accusations.
Other questions?
You mentioned sovereign immunity. Can you explain that? And just for like our viewers, the lay person, what is that? What did that mean before your law?
Yeah, before we were able to pass this law, families in the state of Texas were denied access to the courts behind me when they had children who were affected by teachers or coaches through sexual abuse. And now that sovereign immunity has been ended to an extent as it relates to the gross negligence or recklessness of school districts in keeping children safe.
So families couldn't, bring charges, press charges against a teacher or coach or whoever it might be.
They had no remedy through the civil court system. They did have a remedy through the criminal justice system. What are you going to?
Yeah.
Yes.
In speaking with these parents, what are they telling you? We're hearing from parents that there is a culture in Celina that leads to this predatory nature. What are they telling you?
There are calls for transparency. Everyone wants to know exactly what happened, who did it, and when it happened. And I think the people of Celina have the right to answers to those questions, because when parents trust the school system, when they send their kid off to school, there's a bargain that we make through our social system that they're not going to be harmed by a teacher, they're not going to be harmed by a coach or harmed by an administrator. And Celina violated that.
Signed or not, do you have a rough estimate of how many families you've spoken to already?
Yeah.
About a dozen.
A dozen.
This report came from children. What does that say about this case?
It's so important. I mean, it's very difficult to overstate the importance of believing our children when they make an outcry of abuse or they report abuse from a teacher, a coach, or a student. And then we value those reports over the reputation, over the significance of a teacher or a coach or an administrator in the school system. Any other questions?
Actually, you're thinking incident that may have occurred. We don't know the timeline on any of this stuff, but we have hiring practices that are being called into question. How much does this go into any of that?
Yeah, I think the big questions that I have are, who was supposed to be supervising this person that was banned from the locker room? Why was this person retained as a teacher or administrator in the school district system after attempting to install cameras at another school in a locker room? Apparently, we have a lot of questions about who was in the decision-making chain when this person was allowed to continue to be around boys in a locker room.
For those who have not followed the developments of this case and the backstory of Caleb Elliott being at one school and then transferred over, can you give us a brief summary as to what you have learned about this man and his roles in these schools?
I think it'd be difficult for me to give you the specifics because I want to make sure that we don't affect all the matters that are pending. The bottom line is Celina should be giving you the answers to those questions. They should be giving all of us the answers to those questions. What led to his movement from one school to another? What prompted it?
And say they weren't allowed to pursue it civilly, but yes, criminally. Why not just take the other route?
Oh, it's being pursued. To be clear, our district attorney, Greg Willis, is prosecuting the criminal matters as it relates to Caleb Elliott. Until September 1st of this year, the families were denied access to the civil court system in Texas.
Is there any indication that the loss of a life of a child in one of these schools, is that all related to this situation?
I can't confirm that for you. I'm sorry. Any other questions?
How does this new law shape the future accountability for these cases?
It's a good start. It's a good start. I had really hoped that it would be a deterrent or an encouragement to school districts to root out sexual abuse in our public school system. I did not, in my wildest dreams, imagine that we would need to apply it immediately in a school that's so close to our home. So I will say it's a good start, and we'll see how effective it is before the next legislative session.
What happens now?
What happens now? We'll continue investigating. I expect you're going to see some more lawsuits filed.
What are the grounds for some of these lawsuits?
Yes. Well, as it relates to House Bill 4623, certainly the grossly negligent or reckless supervision or ongoing or continued employment of Caleb Elliott under Chapter 118 of the Civil Practice and Remedies Code.
Do you have any opinion or anything to say about his father, the head coach, whatever, athletic director side, that he was allowed to remain until Friday?
Yeah, we want some answers. Yeah. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you.